Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Donkey Kong Country. In today's episode we're going to be going to KremKroc Industries Incorporated, and first up is Drum Alley. And get ready for the absurd length of these levels here, because these levels here are long, and I am not even kidding here, folks. And that's why you can actually see here that even this video is long. It's like, the longest video I've had by far for this playthrough. Just almost going by a half hour, and you will definitely see why, because the sheer length of these levels here. So basically, this whole place here, well, as you can see here, it's definitely a factory level for one thing. Despite the fact that it's actually definitely one of the harder levels here, and well, I mean, I would have to say the second hardest level there is though, because the next one, oh boy, yeah, we gotta be prepared for the next one though, because I mean, despite what it seems like though for the way this level is here, I mean, you would probably think that it's gonna be the final level of the game. But no, it's actually not. It's actually going to be the very next area we'll be going to the next episode. Not counting the final boss, like just it being its own area though. But oh, that's right. I gotta talk about this one here. So, this bonus room, if you actually do want to go for 100% completion, for this here, by go through all the bonus rooms. Here's what you have to do. As soon as you enter that bonus room that I previously just visited, you want to make sure to get the single banana from the barrels. And so, yeah, and it can't be anything else. It has to be the single banana. And once you do that, then the barrel will appear. Now, as soon as you pick it up, you want to make sure to hug the upper wall, and then just try to blast it too, so that way there, the game will automatically just take you in. You want to make sure, that's what you have to do. You actually have to hug against the wall and to be able to get to the next bonus room, because you can see here that it's basically a bonus room within a bonus room. So, yeah, it's actually one of the rare instances for this kind of thing here, and I guess the only instance there is, though. But you actually have to hug against the wall. And the reason I'm saying this, though, is because if you keep a distance away from the wall, even if you actually destroy or break the wall with the barrel, the animation will start to play with either a DK or a Diddy, depending on who you play as. They'll show the animation of them congratulating the player, and just breaking the fourth wall and congratulating them. But you're basically locked in the animation, and then that'll actually just boot you out of the bonus room, and so therefore you can't really get into the bonus room. Even though you've unlocked the door and you want to try to get in, but the game actually outright stops you from doing so, just for them to do that congratulatory animation that the characters will do, and then it'll just boot you out of the bonus level. So that's why I actually realized that, when I was doing my attempts, and I had to constantly use the rewind feature because I was wondering why it wouldn't let me in. But yeah, for some reason they literally programmed that whole sequence to get to that bonus room within the bonus room to go inside. Yeah, they actually programmed for you to actually have to hug the wall, and then just break the wall of the barrel at the same time, and then just go inside. That way, the game will automatically just bring you in. So yeah, they literally programmed that here. So otherwise, the animation will just lock you in there, and then you can't get into the bonus room, and so therefore you will lose that chance of having 100% completion, or just showing the level being marked as completed. So yeah, and that's the reason why I had to stress it here. That's only if if you actually are intending on doing 100% completion for this one, and just by going all the bonus rooms. That's what you have to do, and so that's what I had to do as well, because since this is a completion run where I have to show all the bonus rooms. And then that other one, it's actually one of the challenging ones where they actually want you to spell out the whole title of the game, therefore Donkey Kong Country. And it actually does go faster at that, but each time you actually spell the first one, which is the first one being Donkey, gives you the red balloon, which is 1 life. And then after spelling out Kong, then it gives you the green balloon, 2 lives. And then after spelling out Country, then it gives you the blue balloon, which is 3 lives. But yeah, that's actually what we had to do here. So, and yeah, this one's a little tight here. I also got to say though that the way that those Making Kongs are throwing it, this does feel like a direct callback to the arcade Donkey Kong, where you're jumping over barrels thrown by a monkey, and it's actually in some kind of factory level, because there actually is some factory levels, even though the whole place is the whole game's taking place in a construction site. All right, next up is a Trick Track Trek, and that's a lot of type platform. But what I actually do want to say though, before I interrupted myself here. I gotta say though, the music that was playing in the previous level, it's called Fear Factory, and I love that track. It's so badass, very catchy, and it really actually does fit the whole situation. Just being in this rather tense and this rather tense factory level, and and the way it is, just going through this kind of a situation. God, that's such a great track. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks that plays here. So Yeah, you should definitely give it a listen. It's called, yeah, like I said, it's called a Fear Factory, but it's such a badass track. It's so great. I love the track so much. Anyway, so yeah, the whole thing with KremKroc Industries Inc. is that it's it does a lot of type platforming is what it is. Like you'll see a lot of platforms that are up in midair. This one you actually go across. You're on this little mini conveyor belt, even though it's actually not operating as such though, but it's just moving around by itself as soon as you land on it, and you just have to go through the whole room just by either jumping on the enemies or avoiding them. But it can be quite dull though, but it also can be rather tense if you're just if you're going after the bonus rooms like I am right now. See, for this one, to get to this bonus room, you have to have Diddy do this cartwheel, and you actually be able to jump in midair to do that. So it's actually cool like that. But you want to do that to get to that blast barrel cannon. So that way you can get to the bonus room too. But yeah, I will say this much though. This did take a lot of editing. It actually took me like I think an hour and a half for me for this whole recording session because, like I said, these levels are long, and I had to make sure to remember where. Well, I just had to look at the guides to see where the bonus rooms are because since this is a completion run. So oh yeah, there's the other one you have to do. So yeah, it actually all takes memory for this here. So you actually so you want to remember exactly where the bonus rooms are, so over there you can actually get over to see where those two naughties are up on that platform. And this here is a jumping claptrap. So same as the other claptraps, they give you the banana bunches, but the purple claptraps, they'll just constantly jump at you. So that's what you want to try to be careful with. Because they'll try to bite your ass too, and yeah, like such, and that's how I kind of handled that one though. I think I kind of reset the whole because I did use a rewind feature for attempting this one here. So, or actually, no, I think the counter's still the same. I don't know. I guess it's what it is here. Now, for this other half of the section, I would recommend that you play as DK for this one here, because the reason for that though is because after the first few instances of the naughties coming by, just dropping down. You'll actually be seeing the clumps. Yeah, this clump here. We haven't seen those guys in a while. But yeah, you'll be seeing the clumps, but also there's also a Crusher that's gonna be they're gonna be coming by, and I'm not sure what I name. I mean, oh yeah. By the way, folks, that clump was supposed to come down, but I think that might be a programming error, or they just kind of overlooked it and oversight. So they just kind of left it there for the final game. But he was supposed to come down, but I guess there was a bit of a programming error for this one, and they probably didn't really they probably overlooked it. I'm guessing like when they were playtesting this, and they must have forgotten about it though. I don't know. I mean, I can't even tell though, but I mean I'm pretty sure this was playtested to make sure they got this all right, but they must have forgotten about this one. Oh yeah, watch this, guys. Okay, that was actually funny. You actually see that Crusher just walking in place. The edge of that platform, and then he just falls off by himself. I thought that was hilarious. It actually makes me wonder if King K. Rool actually ordered them to stay in this kind of place here, and then just had them fall off, or they were just waiting for them to just be jumped on by the Kongs, which I guess would make sense though, because as we find out, or I guess it's more so shown in DK64 that K. Rool is an outright dick to his Kremlings. Because, like, he's not really, he doesn't really show any care whatsoever towards Kremlings. Like, he is an outright dick to his Kremlings. And, yeah, you'll definitely see for sure, like, especially in DK64 later on, though. Alright, for this one, yeah, I'm actually switching over to Diddy for this one, though, because he can actually have a good jumping height to get to the rope, so that way there I get to the bonus room. Sorry if you just heard the noise, I had an itch in my neck, and I accidentally just, scratched my fingernails against that one part of the audio speaker for the headset. So pretty sure that's probably where you're hearing the noise from. So let's see, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna talk more about like the levels, but yeah, basically, yeah, I will say this much though, that KremKroc Industries Inc. It is well, I would say the second hardest world in the entire game, because I know the next one is going to be probably the hardest, especially a couple of levels that really want to dig with you too. But this one's no slouch either when it comes to the sheer difficulty of this here, because I did tell you that later on it'll be definitely a lot more challenging, and Well, for this world here, it shows. And you'll definitely see, especially with some of the enemy placements too. Which I mean, I will definitely point out though. But yeah, they're absolutely long, and and these levels here, like they're very happy with tight platforms because you'll be running across with so many tight platforms just going across here. And there's another bonus room that's right on top of here though. So think of it like in Super Mario Brothers, we're trying to get to the warp zone. Only this time it's with bonus rooms. And I want to get that token for especially the ostrich, but it's like, it almost felt like I was deliberately disappointing it, even though I was trying not to. I was trying to time it just right. But yeah, like I said, if you're playing as Diddy, you can actually be able to use the cartwheels to outright kill the clumps. You can't really jump on them though because they're immune to that. They actually just guard themselves. They show that animation there too. And God, look how fat they are. Like you can clearly see with their bellies hanging out. Where they're just sort of trying to tie with their belts here, and it actually shows here just so that their bellies are just almost hanging out, and all that too. And just take a close look at the design as well, like just seeing the official artwork. And to quote Some Call Me Johnny, those clumps have bitch tits. Yep, they sure do. Actually, you can even see in their sprites as well. With them having bitch tits. Also, yeah, I was gonna bring up with placements. So yeah, that mini neck area here. Yeah, I hate the placements of those, because like sometimes you'll just see them out of nowhere, and then you just don't see them coming. And also, there's the whole elevators gimmick here. This one actually takes patience though, because you want to wait until the right elevator comes up, because once it goes all the way down and you try to get to where the elevator is, it actually disappears, and you'll eventually fall to your death. So. Yeah, some of them will actually just be close together, but there's another one in which they're kind of spread out apart, and they will disappear. So yeah, if you want to try to reach the elevator, you want to hurry and do that too. Otherwise, you'll end up falling to your death. But yeah, you'll definitely see for sure that that the levels, they're very tight with platforms. You'll see a lot of small platforms on those bottomless pits, especially those oil drums with the flames on them. They will be midair, and especially when we got to the first level. I also like how they actually formed the Z on the whole map here. So that's actually pretty nice. But yeah, you'll definitely see for a lot of platforms being so tight, very tiny as well. So you really want to be careful as you go across, especially with those oil drums in that very first level. And you definitely want to hurry as well before the flames will start coming up, and you want to hurry and just get off those though. But it's very intense like that. So like I said, this whole world really does love those tight platforms. So yeah, you really have to be precise with this one here. Otherwise, yeah. And considering that DK or Diddy doesn't really have as much defense, so, they're only they only have more defense if they're other buddies with them though. Okay, this level here, Poison Pond. Oh my god, fuck this level. So, Poison Pond, well, first of all, I do want to bring this up here. One more kind of piece of logic here. It's supposed to be polluted with poison here, and yet 2 monkeys are still surviving this. They're absolutely perfectly fine, and even with the, and the same thing with the sea life here, like the fish, all the fish enemies, they are still thriving, and they are absolutely fine with that. I don't understand why, because because the animals, like back during the time of the oil spill, from way back when, those animals died in there. They would not survive all that here, but yet here this, I don't know, video game logic again. And even for monkeys too, but. To go on with absolutely why I hate this level so much, it's the way that these placements are, and God, when I recorded this, it actually really did fill me with anxiety, and it made me so nervous too, because you'll be seeing a lot of the enemies like that bite size right there. They will literally ambush you. Like if you're just going along, and then all of a sudden they just either come right out from the screen, and also like that AcedTyler, they actually go so far out that this level really doesn't give you enough breathing room before you proceed. And yeah, see, look at that right here. Like they just immediately come out here, and there'll be some that they'll actually outright charge you, like from right out of nowhere. Well, maybe not so much a charge you per se though, but like they'll actually just rapidly just swim through, like all of a sudden, like they'll just suddenly swim right through, and oh yeah, I see that there. Like that was also sent too, the way that AcedTyler was. So you want to make sure to just hide as much as you can here in those in those little alcoves here, so that way there you'll really get hit by them. But holy shit, like the way they would just just suddenly come out of nowhere, and without giving him much of a proper time to react and all that here either. Now, I was actually lucky enough because, because I actually ended up getting because I already had 2 of the espresso tokens so far, and so I was actually lucky enough to be able to get the 3rd one here, so at least it does give me a bit of, or just allow me to take a breather, so that way I managed to do this this bonus stage for espresso, and also where I decided to just go ahead and just go to the other side of the wall, so that way I can actually get that giant token, but yeah, Poison Pond, like, because of the fact that it's a water level, and, and as a matter of fact, I think Unguard is supposed to be here, but I wasn't able to get him, though, because I'm pretty sure he's usually in these, in every one of the water levels, but I just couldn't find him, though, so if you don't have Unguard with you, basically if you're underwater, you have no ways of defending yourself with, because, like, you have to just go around in the water levels without getting hit once, or, or just make sure you have either DK or Diddy with you, just tagging along with you. Because they're just getting hit, then you just switch over to the other Kong. But once you're by yourself, oh man, you have to really have to swift your life in order for you to not get hit. And I had so many attempts for that, or for this level because of it. But yeah, you just saw that right there. When those bite size, those enemies would just suddenly come out from nowhere, and you'll definitely see for sure. Like, well, I guess if we get a little close to the end of the level here, but yeah, this level really does not give you a proper time to react and to just try to instinctively avoid as much as you can. And the way how fast these obstacles are, like I say, you're really not given enough breathing room for to be able to avoid them. So I would say, just go as slow as possible and just be very careful, because sometimes you'll just be seeing like right out of nowhere, and also they be so close to them together. And I say the placements of them too, like with that one fish enemy, and then the spike tires just like so close together. Oh god, like my heart jumped whenever I saw that spike tire just like suddenly coming right there, like it was getting so close to me. And it was quite a jump scare too. So yeah, that level was really filling me with anxiety for because of all the obstacles. And so, like, you have to be very careful, because if you actually try to keep going ahead, and it's almost like yeah, see, look at that. Did you see that just now? The way that that fish actually just readily swim through, as you just saw there, and it was like it was literally programmed to actually come right towards you. Because, like, because they already have their own set patterns, though, so it's not like they're actually programmed to actually come towards you, but it does feel like so. And I was just going along here, and then it was just like coming right towards me, and just like in a split second, and it didn't give me enough time to actually react and to try to avoid it. That's how I got hit. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I hate that level so much, because the way they place these enemies, there's like a bunch of them, and then just suddenly comes charging right at you. Without giving a proper time to react into when you least expect it to. So yeah, it's like either RNG or it's like they know that you're actually coming towards them, so they actually just make a dick move and just rapidly swim right over to you. So yeah, I hated that level so much. It took a long time for me to get that done too. So yeah, but we're done with this level, and I was like, oh, thank God I made it to the exit. And that's the one saving grace about it, too, is that, since the water levels don't really have any bonus rooms, though, so you just have to go through a straight shot from point A to point B, so I'm glad about that, at least, though, but I really want to be done with that level, so. Alright, so, yeah, I know I'm already visiting, I know I've been visiting Cranky, like, pretty much all the time, and even though it's kind of pointless at this point, because, because he was just giving hints and all that, though, but I don't know, I always like seeing what he has to say, either with his fourth wall breaks, or, any of the other kind of hints that he has here, so. Okay, Minecart Madness. This is our second, and I guess probably our last Minecart level. I guess there's like only 2, unless there's 3 though. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, this is our second Minecart level here. And unlike the last one, where you actually be able to jump along with the minecart itself, here when you jump, you actually jump off of the minecart. And also, and yes, of course, as you can probably would already guess right about now, yes, this does have bonus rooms, because like last one didn't have any bonus rooms whatsoever. You can actually just go through the level just like that, and it'll still be marked as completed. But okay, I got the rainbow token. Oh yeah, and I just dropped down because I like, oh hey, cool, congrats, you got the rainbow token. Now get the hell out of here. Yeah, this minecart level actually does have bonus rooms too, so that's why, if you actually go up to the very top, you can see that gap in between the bananas, and that actually does give away the hint that there is a bonus room. So that's where you want to just go and jump off of there, and then get to that very hidden bonus, or the barrel cannon that was right there. So, and there's another one where there's that tire right in midair. So as soon as you jump off of it, you see it, just go right over to the tire, and then just jump off it, and then get to that bonus room too. And I guess so that means we'll be getting our third unguard token here, and there's only 2 of them, so I have to get 1 more for the bonus stage unguard's bonus stage. But yeah, this is actually where things get a lot more intense for this here, like, especially if you're because like the way you'd be jumping off the minecart, and you have to go to the next one here because it'll come off the track itself. And so, oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, actually the names of the enemies here, they're called Crash. And so, yeah, Crash, with a K at the beginning, because they always have to start with K. But it's like, this guy isn't even doing anything at all. He's just stationed there, and, he's just, like, waiting for him to be jumped on. And, it's basically, like, it's like K. Rool just gave him a suicide job. And so, like, why? Doing that to your own minions? I mean, yeah, granted, though, like I just said, that, K. Rool is really not nice at all to his minions at all. And, like I said, you'll definitely see it in once we get to DK64, you'll definitely see just how much of a dick he is to his minions. But it does seem to be established or implied early on that he's always been that way. At least even before he went off the deep end though, which we'll definitely show later on. But yeah, like he was just just waiting for it to be killed. But yeah, that minecart level, it is a lot more intense, just going from one platform to another, just having to go to the other minecart. And you really want to make sure to stay within the minecart too, because you actually miss your chance that you will fall to your death. So it definitely is a lot more intense because of it here, and definitely more dangerous for that too. So anyway, this next level here, Blackout Basement, and this gimmick here is that in its own increments. It'll actually have a blackout, and so it actually light back up here. So, this level does require a lot of patience. If you're one of those impatient types, then you're not going to like this level at all. But you're going to need a lot of patience too, because you want to make sure to see exactly where you want to go, and then just wait for the lights to come up. Then once the lights come back on, then you can just be able to proceed. But you also want to watch over the enemies too. As a matter of fact, as soon as you see the enemies, then it would be a good idea to just try to get the idea of exactly where the enemies are placed. And then that way there you can actually be able to get a jump on them too. Now, thankfully, the bonus rooms in this one, there's only 2 bonus rooms, but it's actually easier to access in the for those bonus rooms, because it actually does they do at least provide the hint or actually show the or where the bonus rooms are. So at least it's a little more user friendly in that regard. I guess at least the developers actually thought of this, and just make sure people actually want to go for all the bonus rooms, and they just have to make sure it's easily accessible to get into those bonus rooms too. So. But yeah, a lot of platforms you have to go through, though. It's not really quite as intense as the other factory level with those side platforms. I guess that was intentional because of because it's Blackout Basement, so and so it has its own kind of challenge because of it, though, because how it actually just the power goes off and it gets absolutely dark, and then you have to wait till the light comes back on, though. So at least they actually plan out the design ahead of time. So I'll just give it that at least. But like I said, though, the music that's playing, yeah, like I said, I fucking love this track. I guess, next to Aquatic Ambience, this track here is also one of my favorites. It's so intense. It's such a badass theme. Oh, man, kudos to the composers here for this track here. It's such a great job. That really does go to show, with the way the music is for how animated it is, and it actually really, it does fit well with a lot of tracks. Just choose the kind of music that will play for each of the levels and really, just make it atmospheric. And it really does fit so well. It's amazing like that. So yeah, that's where the first bonus room is. But you actually see for the hint where that single banana is. So that actually does give away the fact that there could be a bonus room if you go on that platform and just goes downwards. Now, for this next one is a little trickier, though, because we have this Manky Kong that's up ahead to try to avoid the barrels here. But what you want to do is that you want to keep this steel barrel with you, too, and make sure you don't lose it. So what you want to do is that you just want to make sure to gently put down the steel barrel or the steel keg. Because you're going to want to need this one to get to the next bonus room that we're going to be going to. But make sure you put it down first before jumping on the enemies, because if you're still holding onto it while jumping on the enemies, then you'll end up losing the steel keg. So just make sure you gently put it down first, and then just get rid of the enemies. Now, this one, I don't know why they actually designed it to where they actually just have to look closely where the balloon is, and it actually still blacks out. And it also affects the barrels as well, where, you know, they also black out and you can't even see them either. Although I was actually lucky enough to see where the balloon was, because it was actually still bright, and then that's where the balloon will just go and hide itself in one of the barrels. So I was actually lucky enough to see where it is, and then that's how I got to it, though. So at least there's that. So maybe I guess, you know, they had to keep it bright so that way there you actually see where it is. Alright, so this boss here, Boss Dumb Drum. So, remember when I was talking about how underwhelming the bosses are, and I was actually going to talk about this one certain boss in an earlier episode that was actually was showing that was actually the biggest offender? Well, this is actually what I was talking about, Dumb Drum. This is probably the biggest offender of how underwhelming boss fights can be in this game. So what it is here is that Dumb Drum, what he'll do is that, you know, he'll actually try to land on whichever spot you're standing on. So you want to make sure to avoid it, and then, you know, just avoid it as it tries to pound on you, and just try to squish you flat. And then and it'll actually increase by its numbers here. But after it gets done, it'll shoot or send out a wave of enemies at you, like, you know, these certain enemies here. So all you have to do is just kill the enemies, and then in order for you to proceed. After that, then it just commits suicide. Yeah, it just kills itself after that. So after you kill all the enemies, then just drops down, and then it self-destructs. And then there you go. Then you won the boss fight. So that's it. That's all you do. You just kill the enemies, and then just avoid its attacks, and then as it drops down, it dies. So yeah. Wow, such a great and creative boss, am I right? Very creative, so. Anyway, so now we're done with KremKroc Industries Inc. And now this is going to be our final level, not kind of the final boss, Chimp Caverns. Oh boy. Get ready for this one, folks, because it's going to be a hell of a ride. Next time we're going to be dealing with the Chimp Caverns on the next episode of Donkey Kong Country. Get ready for this here. Until then, I'll see you guys later.